Hello everyone, Half Jojo back at it again, and today I'm going to be talking about again something a bit different from my usual. I saw that this kind of video has been a bit trending in the last few weeks or so about kind of Disney and how obese everyone is in Disney, and not even just Disney but in the world in general and stuff like that. I saw a couple YouTubers cover it. I saw like Obese to Beast covered it like 2 weeks ago or something. A few other people, I think like Cynical Dude covered it a couple of days ago. And I just wanted to kind of throw some of my opinions and my personal experience with also Disney and obesity and mobility scooters or wheelchairs and stuff like that. So I'm gonna pull up the clip in a second and we're gonna go through it. So without any further ado, I'm gonna get right into the clip. Alright, so let's see what she has to say about Disney, obesity, etc., etc.
A large percentage of the population cannot be on their feet for multiple hours in a row without being in pain, limping, struggling to get through it.
Damn, that's kind of facts, not gonna lie. I mean, I've seen a lot of people, whether it be probably not necessarily around my age. I think generally people around my age, like 25 and a bit lower, are a bit more able to do it, but people like towards their 30s, 40s, 50s are increasingly becoming shitter and shitter at doing things like this. It's actually kind of worrying.
Is a major problem.
100%.
I'm on semester break at school, so I took myself to Disney for a few days. If you follow me, you know I'm on a weight loss journey. I've lost about 70 pounds in this last.
Oh, fucking hell. Well done. Honestly. I can see there's a massive fucking difference. That's really well done. Genuinely. That's sick.
Year, I want to lose about 50 more, but I am in the thick of it right now, okay? To
100%.
say that I am disturbed by what I'm seeing, just walking around in public. I've been here a few times, but this is the first time I've been here and really just been kind of locked in on this in particular.
Yeah.
Everybody.
I find particularly as well, now, I don't know how often she's been. I don't know if she went when she was bigger as well, but you generally don't notice things like this when you're bigger. When you're like a bigger person, when you're obese, you're fat, you're overweight, you don't tend to point out other people who are in the same boat or worse. You know, sometimes some fat people will be like, oh, fucking hell, look at the size of that fatty over there. It's like, you're fat too, but, you know, they're fatter, so I get it. But, yeah, you don't generally tend to pick it up as much because you're like, it kind of, I guess, in a way, be a bit hypocritical, but because you're also fat, but you get what I mean. You don't tend to pick it up as much, so you're kind of blind to it because you're not looking for it. But when you start losing weight, when you've lost the weight, stuff like that, you tend to see it a lot more often everywhere you go. And yeah, like she said, you tend to kind of lock in on it or laser focus on it, and you're like, holy shit, I've noticed a bit of a disturbing pattern here.
Is so unhealthy.
Yeah.
Kids are unhealthy, parents are unhealthy. Entire family units that I'm seeing are just like copy paste, just different generation of.
I have something to add to that as well. So a couple weeks ago, I went away. We went to a holiday park in the United Kingdom, towards kind of seaside. It's quite a popular destination, but it's the exact same scenario that she's about to pull up. There's so many people there, so many kids, so many adults who are obese, so many people who are on like mobility scooters and stuff like that, so many people who are very big, and it is disturbing. It is disturbing, and 100%, you know, and I'm not just talking like slightly obese. I'm not just talking about a bit overweight. I'm talking about like morbidly obese, like huge, humongous. That's a reference. But yeah, it is absolutely fucking disturbing. It's something I've noticed when I went away a couple of weeks ago as well, and it is absolutely something I could see being a big problem in Disney and stuff like that, especially since, you know, you get so many more people in Disney compared to where I was. But holy shit, it's kind of shocking. It really is.
Just crazy levels of just like unhealthiness that I think that we're so accustomed to seeing that it's no longer even jarring anymore.
it's true. It's unfortunately become normalized to be like this big. It's unfortunately become normalized to be obese. I'm not talking about slightly overweight. I'm not talking about anything like that. I'm talking about fucking literally being obese, being again, humongous. It's true. You know, some people would look at someone who's overweight, like I'm talking about slightly overweight, and they won't see that as being overweight. They'll see that as being normal. And they'll see someone who's obese and they'll be like, oh, okay, maybe that's not normal. It is overweight. But that overweight person isn't overweight, but the obese person is. Basically, there's levels to it, right? So you've got someone who's a bit overweight, someone who's got a bit of a belly, you got someone who's obese, you know, someone who's massive, and then you got super morbidly obese and stuff like that. You know, there are levels to it, and a lot of people towards like the obese end of it don't really see overweight people as overweight, and it is kind of become normalized to be that level and stuff like that. It's fucked. And a lot of obese people see people who are normal weight as skinny or not healthy and stuff like that, which is fucking wild to me in my opinion. I don't get that personally, but I've seen a lot of people for some fucking reason think that being at a normal healthy body weight is like wrong. And like, is it? Last time I checked, it's fucking not, but okay. I'm ranting now, so I want to get back into the video and see what else she has to say.
Accustomed to seeing that it's no longer even jarring anymore, but it is fucking jarring. I feel like for the past 30 years of my life, it's almost as if I've been walking around the world with one blinder on, because I haven't been completely blind to this all along, but this past...
It's a bit like I said, you know, like she said, you might not be completely blind to it, but you are a bit blind to it because you haven't noticed it, because you've also kind of been in that perspective as well. You've been a bigger person and you haven't really tended to pick up on it. But as you've lost the weight, as you've started to become healthier, as you started to walk around more, become more mobile, you generally tend to notice it a lot more often. Like I've definitely noticed it a lot more often since I've lost my weight. Like before, when I was bigger, I would have never looked around and been like, oh, that person's really fucking fat, because I was the same. I was the exact same. I would have just been like, you know, I was just a person. But you know, you tend to notice these things a lot more when you lose weight. You definitely do.
I haven't been completely blind to this all along, but this past 6 months to a year, I have just been like laser focused, locked in on my own health journey. It's making me just laser focused, locked in on the world around me too.
Yeah.
And it is
definitely
frightening. It's disturbing. And it
is.
I understand, right? We're at Disney, this is vacation. Like, of course, like hello, like I was eating chips before. Like,
yeah, I mean, that's it. You know, when you go away, you're gonna be off diet and stuff sometimes. You know, I mean, a lot of people in fitness kind of get a bit like, oh no, you shouldn't be off plan and you go on holiday and stuff like that. And you know, I can understand, but at the end of the day, I'm not mad if anyone does go off diet plan or overeats during their holidays. You know, just do whatever. And if you are gonna do it, just fucking get back on it when you come back from your holiday. Don't make it become a habit. If you're going to go off your diet, you're going to go off your workout plan or anything like that when you go away, just make sure that you're back on it. And it doesn't matter personally, but yeah, if you obviously if you do it all the time and you make a habit of it, then that's a big problem.
I I was eating chips before, but everybody is fucking huge, and that didn't happen this week on vacation.
Yeah, exactly. It didn't happen that week. It's a long, ongoing societal problem. It's not like they were doing what I said, where they have a week off or whatever, and then they're back on it. No, every week is a week off for them. You know, they're eating shit consistently, and it is worrying. It is worrying. They eat shit consistently, and they're not walking around enough or doing enough exercise at any way, shape, or form. And yeah, it is really worrying. I am really worried for a lot of people nowadays, because a lot of people are becoming like this. Like, our countries, even like around the world generally, are becoming more and more obese. It's not even just United States, United Kingdom anymore. A lot of other countries are becoming progressively worse and worse and worse, as a lot of fucking shit foods and stuff are being introduced a lot more in people's diets, and not enough exercise is being kind of promoted and everything like that. It is worrying, 100%.
And that didn't happen this week on vacation. And I'm not one to talk. I still have 60 pounds to lose, okay?
I mean, I have a little bit to lose as well.
Thing, okay? Pot, kettle, But like, this has gotten so normal, and it's so fucking scary. It's obviously disturbing when you see adults of any age, but especially when they're not that old, when they're young parents, limping around because they're on their feet all day. They just cannot be on their feet all day, right?
Yeah, I don't get that. I mean, the thing is, I'm a bit lazy with my cardio. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I'm very fucking lazy with my cardio. I don't do enough cardio. But when I went to Japan like 2 months ago, I was walking like 30 kilometers every day, and I didn't have an issue with that at all. I was not like, oh, my legs are really hurting, blah, 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 anything like that. And I know you can say, oh, you exercise frequently. Yes, I do, but I don't do a lot of cardio. I don't really walk around or run around a lot or anything like that. I'm kind of fucking lazy with it, but I didn't have any issues with walking around all day. And it is kind of worrying how there are people my age, if not older or younger, who just can't do it. They walk for like 5 miles and they're like, oh, I'm fucked. It's like, I've definitely been there. I've definitely been there myself. When I was bigger, I probably couldn't really walk 5 miles without being fucked, but now I could do it easy. It does depend what I'm doing. The worst fucking thing is when you're walking with someone and you're talking all the time. It just makes you so fucking breathless. But when you're walking like really far distances and you're just by yourself, mind your own business, listen to some music or whatever, I don't have any like problems. But when someone's trying to talk to me when I'm walking, I'm like, can you stop talking for 1 fucking minute, please? I'm trying to get some. I'm trying to catch my breath here. You're like, Jesus Christ, I can only do one thing at a time. But nah, obviously I'm exaggerating it a bit, but yeah, it's definitely worrying. I know I said a lot of people my age and younger aren't as bad, but it is becoming progressively worse, like I said.
Because they're on their feet all day. They just cannot be on their feet all day, right? They're visibly in pain. They're visibly having trouble just
Yeah, it is wild, not gonna lie.
The thing that I find way more disturbing, though, is these children. Like, I'm talking like 10 years old, just having trouble walking.
Yeah. I want to add to that, and this is going to be one of my own personal stories, and it is to do with Disney, surprisingly. Disney in Florida. I went there when I was like 5 or 6. I was, again, like I've always mentioned, I've always been a fat kid, right? I've always been fat pretty much my whole life until probably the last year or two. Well, last year even. Yeah, when I was younger, I was really fat and I couldn't walk around much without my feet hurting, without complaining and fucking whining and stuff like that. So I ended up being wheeled around in a fucking wheelchair for the whole trip to Disney. Every single day we went to all the different parks and all that, all the different areas. Every single time I went there, I was being fucking wheeled around in a wheelchair because I was an absolute fucking inebriate, because I was so fat and so unathletic and not, everything like that I couldn't be bothered to walk by myself, and I probably physically couldn't walk by myself all that much, and which is really worrying for a kid around 6-7 years old. Definitely. But yeah, it's kind of an embarrassing story. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's very embarrassing. Like, I look back at stuff like that and I'm like, fuck me. Being fat is not fucking great. I don't understand how you could be like one of these fat activist people who are like, oh, being fat's so fucking cool. It's not. It's miserable. And because of things like that, I've missed out on a lot of things in my life. I've missed out on so many different things because of being fat in my life. Like I've mentioned in another video, being a fat kid is not fun. I couldn't keep up with a lot of other kids physically and stuff like that. It's just a detriment in every way, and it is really worrying, and it's worrying that it's becoming progressively more and more common. When I was younger, I was probably one of the only kids who was like this, if I'm being honest. Like, I didn't know any other kids who were around my size, not really. Maybe like one or two that I've seen. But even when I went to Disney when I was a kid, no one else was doing that. There wasn't as many obese adults, and there wasn't as many obese kids like me being wheeled around in fucking wheelchairs because they can't walk properly or for that long. You know, I thought I was a one-off case, but it's becoming the majority in places like Disney and the aforementioned holiday park that I went to, Butlins. Before you judge me in the comments, I went there with my nephew and my family, so fuck off. But yeah, it's really worrying.
Other thing, what the fuck is up with the Crocs? I have
Crocs.
Why doesn't anybody have real shoes on?
Do you know what? She's kind of spitting here because I just mentioned Butlins before, and I've seen so many fucking people in Butlins walk around with these Crocs on as well. I don't know what it is. I don't know why Crocs are just becoming like a fucking thing that people are wearing all the time now. I mean, back in my day, if you were wearing Crocs, people would call you gay. Not that I condone that, but it's fucking true. Back in my day, if you were wearing Crocs, people would take the piss out of you. People would fucking call you all sorts of things and stuff like that. But now everyone's wearing them, and people don't stop fucking wearing them even when they're out and about. You know, I see some people go shopping with fucking Crocs on and stuff, and I'm like, what are you doing? Just put some shoes on, mate. I mean, no wonder why you're fucking limping everywhere if you're just walking around with Crocs on all day, especially if you're walking like 5-10 miles in Crocs. Jesus Christ, man. It's unhinged. Just wear some shoes. Put on your fucking Jordans or something, I don't know. Or just wear your Reeboks or some shit.
I have seen. Why doesn't anybody have real shoes on? You're on your
That's
feet
what I'm
all day
saying.
long. Why is everybody in Crocs? That's a whole nother issue. And
That's what I'm saying.
Whatever.
Come on now.
Not in some vacuum, right? Where it only exists in this like Disney universe, right? Like this is
Yeah.
everywhere out in the world, right?
Yeah, it's like I said. Even I saw it where I went, and the Crocs thing. Even I see it in supermarkets and stuff, and walking around the street sometimes. Not that I walk around the street often because there's not much around where I live anymore. But you know, back when I lived in a slightly lively area last year.
In this like Disney universe, right? Like this is everywhere out in the world, right? Go to a store, you go to the mall, like kids are notably bigger these days.
That as
right?
well,
People
100%, yeah.
Noticing it so much more, being surrounded by people all day, every day, the last 2-3 days, and seeing entire family units and seeing how 1 + 1 = 2.
That's the thing. It's an unfortunate reality, but if the parents are obese, then I think there's like a 70 or 80% chance that the child's going to become obese or something like that. I'm going to pull up a statistic on the screen showing that, but yeah, it's fucking wild. It is really wild. It's really rare that you will see a child who's not obese when both their parents are obese, you know, and it's slightly less rare if one of the parents is obese that the kids will become obese, but they're both just as bad, and they both set bad precedents and everything like that. And you know, parents being obese is genuinely setting an example for the children and everything like that, because the thing is, right, largely the kids are eating what the parents are eating 90% of the time, you know, and if they're not eating what the parents are eating, they're eating like processed slop junk that they fucking slap in the freezer, like chicken nuggets and chips and fries and stuff like that. They're not eating reasonable foods or anything like that, you know. The kind of stuff that I grew up on wasn't the best kind of food. It got better as I got a bit older. But even then I was obese because as I started getting older, I started buying my own stuff, and I started buying chocolates and whatever the fuck I wanted, and I started eating all that. So, you know, even though there were healthier changes in my life, as I got older, I fucking went down anyway. I just think it is really worrying that a lot of kids are becoming fatter and fatter. It's something that we need to fucking do something about. 100%, and it starts with the parents. It starts with the parents 100%. To be honest, I know a lot of people like to point fingers at all these different companies, or all these different cereal companies, all these different fast food places and stuff. Well, whilst yeah, a lot of that is to blame for the fact that, you know, a lot of people are eating it, but a lot of it, let's be honest, is on the parents fucking buying this stuff for their kids and buying this stuff for themselves. We cannot point fingers at the companies and blah 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 all the time when it is the parents buying the shit. It's kind of like when you go online, for example, kids being given unlimited access to the internet. We cannot give your children infinite access to any fucking website on the internet, and then when they come across something they shouldn't be seeing, something fucked up, something disturbing, something not for their age rating, you cannot point a finger at the fucking internet or the browser or the internet provider or anyone featured in the fucking videos. It is ultimately your fault for letting your kid go on the internet without any fucking restrictions. It is exactly that. We can't be pointing the finger all the time at the companies and stuff. Yes, they do have a part to play in it, but it's the parents fucking buying it and giving it to their kids. Let's be for real right here. I know a lot of people want to hear that. I know some people might think it's a pretty based take, but I just think it's realistic, especially if you compare it to my example that I use with the internet. People need to be a bit more conscious about what they're eating themselves and what they're giving to other people.
Seeing how 1 + 1 = 2.
Yeah.
Mom's big, dad's big, kids are big. And
100%.
Like,
and even if like dad's not big and mum is big, there's still quite a high likely chance that the kid will be quite big, because they're seeing, oh, you know, this family member's big, they're alright, so it doesn't matter if I get big, does it?
Dad's big, kids are big. And it's like, fuck, man. It's Crocs shuffling around the park. Like,
yeah.
And I'm not saying this to be mean, but like literally, like
I get it.
10 and 12-year-old children, like waddling, like not even walking, like waddling. Like, it's so.
Do you know what I've noticed with a lot of people wearing the Crocs as well? Is that like she said, they waddle, they don't walk. But also, a lot of them shuffle as well. A lot of them don't fucking pick their feet off the ground. And I'm not just talking about the kids, I'm talking about the adults as well. Like, so many fucking people, when they put like Crocs, slippers and stuff on, they just don't walk like normal people. Like, they just slide their fucking feet along practically. They don't lift their legs up enough and stride. They just shuffle along, and it's like, what the fuck are you doing? You're just gonna fall over.
Disturbing. Like, what the fuck?
What
Do you want to emphasize again? I'm
Indeed.
not saying any of this to shame people, to judge people, to
100%.
act holier than thou, because
it's not about shaming people, and it's not about being like, haha, you're fat, haha, you know, or anything like that, because it's worrying. You know, we're only saying this because it's a fucking worrying trend. But and I know a lot of overweight people fucking hate it when you're like someone, especially who was previously overweight, and you tell them, yeah, you probably should make a change. They fucking hate it. They pretty much call you an ex-smoker, but for like fat people basically. And it's like, I don't fucking care if you think I'm one of those. At the end of the day, I'm spitting facts. I'm speaking the truth. I used to be the exact fucking position you were in. So you should probably listen a little bit, because I know what it's like, and I've made a change, and my life is so much fucking better because of it. So you should probably do that for yourself too. Not only for yourself, but everyone else around you.
I've lost weight. It's nothing like that. I'm sharing an observation that is in line with what I talk about on this platform, okay? Not we are losing. No, we have lost our base level of socially acceptable fitness.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. And I've said it multiple times over and over again in a lot of my other videos. I am not expecting everyone to be a bodybuilder or a fucking marathon runner, but I am expecting people to at least be able to walk a few miles without dropping dead. Like, it's not even an exaggeration. There are so many people, so many big people out there who can't even fucking walk for more than 2 miles straight without collapsing to the floor, being like, oh fuck. It's worrying. It's really, really worrying. And it's not normal. I'm not being funny, but even if you go back to like our fucking ancestors or something, those fuckers were probably walking like 30, 40, 50 kilometers a fucking day to get from A to B, to go hunt, come back with the food. And then you're sitting here, can't even walk fucking 2 miles, which is like 5 kilometers or something, and you're just absolutely out of breath. I'm not talking about, 2 miles up a mountain. I'm not talking about 2 miles on an incline, on a treadmill, or up a hill or something. I'm talking about 2 miles flat. That's easy. Anyone could do that. And you don't even have to do it that quickly either. Like, well, apparently not anyone could do it, but you get what I mean. 100%, she's completely right. There is kind of like a baseline level of fitness that so many people just are not anywhere near passing nowadays, and it is fucking worrying. Really fucking worrying.
Socially acceptable fitness. The fact that people cannot be on their feet all day long without really struggling through it is very concerning.
Yeah, 100%. And, a lot of people who are like this will worry why companies don't kind of hire a lot of fatter and obese people, is because of this exact thing. If you cannot walk around fucking Disney 2 miles or 5, 6, even 10 miles a day without being absolutely dead or exhausted, then what are you going to be like at work in a fast-paced environment where you're on your feet all day, you're walking around all day, you're back and forth, maybe you're cleaning something, and you've got to be rapid with it. Like, in my old job, we used to clean a lot of rooms at once. There would be one room, you'd have to clean that in like 5-10 minutes, and then there'd be another one that comes out, and they were fucking absolutely trashed half the time. But you had to be in and out quick, and obviously I was fat, so I struggled a bit. But I lost weight doing a lot of that back in the day because of how quick I had to move around and stuff like that. It's just how it is. If you can't do like a baseline level of fitness, you're going to fall behind, whether that be in employment or fucking walking around Disney or whatever, or seeing everything in Disney before your time's up,
Really struggling through it is very concerning. We have been bamboozled and afraid to talk about this because of the whole body positivity army coming at you.
100%.
This is not about body shaming. This is not about any of that. I don't even believe in that
it's
word.
not about that. It's really, really not even about that. I've got to agree, it's not even about shaming anyone's body or anything like that. It's just about baseline level of fitness and everything like that. It's about being able to do things that your average person should be able to do, and that your average normal fucking weight person can do without breaking a sweat.
We are unhealthy. Our kids cannot
100%.
walk.
I think it's, especially fucked up that we're kind of letting kids get to this point as well. Like, fuck the adults. I don't care what the adults want to do with their lives. They can be fat as much as they want. They can do whatever. I don't care. I do a little bit because you probably shouldn't be overweight. You should probably do something about it because it's not good for you. But you get what I mean. At the end of the day, think of the children, It's true. Think of the fucking children. They're the ones that I worry about the most, because they're going to grow up having nothing. They're going to grow up having no life. They're going to grow up socially outcasted. They're going to grow up not being able to do things that other kids can do. It's not great. It's not fun. I've been there. It's fucking miserable. It really is. You miss out so much as being a fat kid.
Kids cannot be on their feet for multiple hours in the day.
Yeah.
This is a problem.
It is a problem.
This is not controversial.
Because kids should be running around everywhere. I mean, how many children have you seen who fucking run for hours on end without getting tired? Right? Surely they should be able to walk for hours on end without getting tired. But, they're becoming more and more obese. They're doing neither of those things.
This is not political. This is not...
It's not at all political,
an attack. This is fact. I'm seeing it. This is not the first time you see it. And when you start looking for it, you will see it everywhere. Mm-hmm. And it's fucking scary. And this is why I talk about the things that I talk about.
You do see it everywhere.
I was talking to someone close to me earlier today who's not on the trip with me. And she said, oh, your feet must be killing you. Because I said I walked 10 miles yesterday. And I said, no.
Yeah, 100%. Even though she's like subtly kind of flexing on her friend, being like, no, it's true. It's true. 100%. It is true. Like, I mentioned that when I went to Japan, I walked like 30, 20 something kilometers pretty much every day. I wasn't all that tired. It was really hot. Okay. It was like 40 degrees Celsius most days. Well, even when it was 38, it felt like 42 or something like that, apparently, according to the weather. It was ridiculous. It was really fucking hot. I was walking a lot. I was exhausted, but my feet are fine. My legs were alright. I was just really sweaty and a bit like, oh god, you know. But apart from that, no, I was pretty much alright. In fact, I got up and did that pretty much every day. You know, I went to sleep, woke up, felt alright, and I did the exact same thing the next day. I walked another 20, 30 kilometers. It was pretty... It's alright, you know? But if you're not used to it, then even walking half of that distance would absolutely wipe you out for like a couple days or, you know, whatever. But yeah, 100%. I am with her on that. Like, yeah, I know. I'm walking 10 miles is like nothing. And, you know, in a day, I mean, walking 10 miles in a day is good. It is impressive. But, you know, if she's talking about like generally, like, say if she walked 10 miles like a whole week or a couple days or whatever, then yeah, that's like nothing. That's not even that exhausting at all. That's literally like, what, 2-3 miles a day if you're counting like a week or whatever, or even just a handful of days.
Because I walk usually about 5 miles every single day, sometimes more.
Yeah, I mean, that's good. That's good. I mean, that's really impressive, actually. I need to do that as well, but I'm too fucking lazy to do cardio. I'd rather just lift.
Sometimes a little bit less. Walking 10 miles a day is not... My body is pretty equipped for it. It's not that much of a stretch for me.
Yeah, it's just, you know, a bit extra than what you usually do, really, at the end of the day.
So... No, I don't feel like I'm not completely wiped out at the end of the day. My feet don't hurt at the end of the day. I'm pretty much fine. I'm tired, but I'm fine.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, yeah, I'm tired after when I was in Japan. I was walking around for like 30 kilometers or whatever, but I'm not like, my feet are fine. My legs are alright. I'm just a bit wiped out, especially because of the fucking heat. Oh, Jesus Christ. If you were in Japan between June and July, you'd know that heat was fucking insane. It was not fun. Honestly.
Pretty much fine. I'm tired, but I'm fine. That conversation in and of itself was kind of eye-opening because it's like, she just like could not believe it. She's like, you walked 10 miles the last couple of days, you're not exhausted. Oh, I would be.
Yeah, 10 miles the last couple of days. That's not even that bad at all. That really isn't. In fact, you know, most people who do a lot of cardio and stuff fucking crack that out in one session. Not me, because I'm lazy, but a lot of people do. If a couple days, 10 miles is nothing really. Most people can probably do that. Well, no, apparently not nowadays, but you know, most average like people can, like average health wise anyway.
Exhausted. And like, this just goes back to everything that I say on this page. It's so important to keep your body healthy.
100%. Come on now. Come on. Keep spitting. I like what I'm hearing.
Keep your body healthy, nourished, ready to go. Although we don't live in a world that requires us to run from predators or be on our feet all day every day. That is a basic physiological purpose or role that we have, and that's a baseline of something that we should be able to do.
100%.
And the fact that a huge majority...
It's like I said, baseline fitness. Most people should be able to do this, and back in the day, most people could do this. It's not right. And I think, especially in America, the biggest problem is that so many places you can't really walk to. There's so many like big roads and stuff, so many big fucking empty streets, just you can't really walk around most places. You have to drive there or get some sort of transport of some description. You can't really walk around in a lot of places in America. And even if you can, say if you wanted to walk to the shops would be fucking miles away. You know, there'd be massive, big, sweeping streets or whatever. You just can't get there by walking in a reasonable time or whatever. Whereas, you know, in a lot of European countries and stuff like that, it's a lot more compact. You know, you go to Germany or whatever, you fucking walk down the road and there's an Audi there or something. It's a lot more put together for walking and biking and stuff like that. But yeah, 100%, that should be a normal baseline. Most people should be able to walk that distance, even if you're not walking all that much, even if you barely walk at all. It's just fucking standard.
Something that we should be able to do, and the fact that a huge majority of the population cannot do that, it's a major problem.
Yeah,
and
100%.
I don't know. I didn't have anyone to talk about it with, so here I am talking to you about it, and it's fucking scary. And
I appreciate
it's so important to be healthy and for your kids to be healthy. And
yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Come on now, especially the kids. Like I said, especially the kids. But yeah, I really fucked with that video. I'm gonna have to hit it with a cheeky little follow there. Come on now. I am on TikTok, by the way. I don't upload that often anymore. I used to do it all the time, but you know, TikTok got half of Jojo. Just putting it out there. Same as Instagram. It's half of Jojo 0.117 because some fucker took half of Jojo and it wasn't me. Piss taker. But yeah, anyway, I have turned a 5-6 minute TikTok video into like a 40-minute talking video. It's probably going to be cut down a lot, but I think I got most of my points out there. It's not about shaming anyone. It's not about being against fucking body positivity or whatever. It's literally just about a worrying fucking trend that people can't even walk for a few miles without dying on there and then keeling over and being like, oh fuck, I need a break, you know. But yeah, I'm definitely worried. I'm definitely concerned. I definitely think that people need to make the necessary change while they can, especially if you have kids. You know, it's hard to get something out of your brain when it's so hardwired in. So it's kind of best to make the change now, make the necessary change now whilst your kids are still young, so they can adapt over time and stuff like that. Make the necessary change so that your kids haven't got it hardwired in, so they don't become older and have these habits drilled into them to a point where they can't get out of them anymore. Like the pizza mum that I covered in a previous video. If she kind of makes the necessary change to try and introduce the kid who always eats pizza, like introduce him to healthier foods and better options now, she'll have less problems doing it later on as the kid gets older. 100%. As a society, we're kind of cooked, not gonna lie. We really are kind of just fucking absolutely fried. A lot of people becoming increasingly lazier. But I will have a little bit of a sympathetic viewpoint that I want to just add in. Is that I understand a lot of people are really stressed at work and things like that. It's becoming worse and worse for factors like that as well. I think workplaces and managing schedules and fucking managing 100 things at once is becoming more and more stressful as time goes on. Things are becoming a lot more competitive. Work's becoming harder to find. Things are really fucking stressful right now, and everything that's going on in the world is really quite crazy. So a lot of people turn to food for stress relief and stuff like that. But that's where we need to kind of make the change. I know, I get it. You know, we're stressed. We're upset. You know, at a lot of things that are going on in our life and a lot of things that are going on in the world. But we need to make a better choice of the way we deal with that stress, whether that be through fucking therapy, whether that be through going to the gym, even if you play video games or watch a film or something. Just don't manage your stress by eating and stuff like that. So I'm gonna add that point into there, but I do generally think majority of it is due to convenience of not having to go out their way to procure fresh ingredients and cook and stuff like that. A lot of people just want to slap things into an oven or a microwave and be done with it, or order out and things like that. So it's definitely it's a mixture of a lot of things. It's not just one thing or the other. It's definitely a lot of laziness, but it is also a lot of people are progressively more stressed, and it's making them not want to do anything, and it's making them more lazy in turn. So they both kind of work hand in hand with each other. Everything kind of accumulates into one big fucking problem basically, and it rubs off obviously on the kids and everything like that as your problems become worse, and it's just a perpetual cycle of things just becoming shitter and shitter. But that's the points that I wanted to add. So I think that's everything I have for today's video. that was a really good discussion. I feel like hopefully some of you agreed with my points. You know, if you dislike it or like it, let me know below if you agree or disagree. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and everything like that. But yeah, as per usual, you're looking absolutely breathtaking again today. You smell really good and everything like that. But yeah, I'll see you later. Take care of yourselves and have a good fucking day and stuff and etc. etc. I'll see you later. Yeah.